This video shows how to connect the Blue Diamond high flow cold planer to the 160415 Bobcat 7-pin wire harness. As the planer comes, there's a box over top of the solenoid covers to protect it. You can see the switch on the front. Changing the position of the switch dictates whether tilt or side shift option is selected. We'll remove the bolts covering the solenoids. There is one bolt on the front, one bolt on the side. When you remove the cover over the solenoids, you can see the two input connectors going to the back of the switch and the 4 output connectors going to the solenoids. It's the side shift solenoid and the tilt solenoid. The wire harness itself has 3 components. The brains of the wire harness are in the black box. It converts the Bobcat skid steer signals to 12-volt DC. The second component of the harness is the attachment side harness. It has 6 Deutsch connectors to plug into the solenoids. It has 2 connectors to plug into the black box and 1 connector to plug into the machine side of the harness. The third component is the machine side of the harness. It has 1 connector to connect to the black box, 1 connector to attach to the attachment side of the harness, and then of course it has the Bobcat 7-pin connector to connect to the host machine. The first step to connect the harness is to bolt the black box to the plate behind the solenoids. The next step is to connect the attachment side of the wiring harness. There are 3 wire pairs, each marked by their color zip tie. The blue and orange zip ties connect to the same solenoid. The green and yellow zip ties connect to the same solenoid. And the third pair is the white and brown zip tie. First we'll connect the green and the yellow. The green connector connects to the lower coil on the lower front solenoid. The yellow connector connects to the upper coil. The orange connector connects to the lower coil of the lower rear solenoid. And the blue connector connects to the top coil. Then we'll connect the brown and white zip tie marked wires to the switch adapter harness. The dark brown zip tie connects to the dark brown wire, and the white zip tie connects to the light brown wire. Then we'll take the other side of the harness. There's a large black connector, a large gray connector with 1 wire coming out the back, and the large connector and the black connector to connect to the machine side harness. The gray connector with a single wire connects into the top right port. The large black connector connects into the lower left port. Next, we'll attach the machine side harness. There is a large gray and black connector and a small connector. We'll attach the large connector to the top left port on the black box. And we'll connect the smaller connector to the black connector from the attachment side harness. And Next, thread the cable of the machine side harness through the slit in the grommet on the cover. Rotate the grommet to lock the wire in place. Fold everything into the space behind the cover. And reinstall the cover. Then take the cable for the machine side harness, thread it through the hose saver spring, and connect it to the skid steer 7-pin port. To operate the right-hand depth skid on the Blue Diamond cold planer, use the left button on the right-hand joystick. To lower the planer, press the bottom portion of the button to raise the right depth skid. To raise the planer back up and lower the depth skid, press the top portion of the button. To operate the left depth skid on the Blue Diamond cold planer, use the right button on the left-hand joystick. Press the bottom of the button to lower the left-hand side of the cold planer and raise the depth skid. Press the top of the button to raise the planer and lower the depth skid. To operate tilt on the Blue Diamond cold planer, use the toggle switch on the left-hand joystick. Push to the left to tilt one direction, and push to the right to tilt to the other direction. To switch from tilt to side shift or vice versa, disengage the hydraulics to turn off the attachment, exit the skid steer, toggle the switch, and re-enter the skid steer. To operate side shift on the Blue Diamond cold planer, push the toggle switch on the left-hand joystick to the left to side shift left, and to the right to side shift right.